Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on Little Slayer's account and kicking it off a little bit early today just because we have so much content and we have so much stuff to do in this account. Now, Little Slayer went through, cleaned up a lot of the account, and if you remember, we farmed up some Awakened heroes. We got some Celestials, some Hypos, so built out a lot of other heroes that we had in here. Now, also remember, this account is 100% free to play. So when we start looking at the chest, when we start looking at the content of everything that we have, I mean, I don't know if Little Slayer has used any of these ever, because look at all of the stones we've already accumulated again. Going to pop these open. Now, remember, we were also waiting and looking for the Awakened version of Falks. I want to hop on there, and I do want to get that new Awakened version of Falks because he has been an absolute game changer when it comes to AFK Arena. And I believe he's like the third or fourth most important hero to have. But as we can see right here with the Awakened heroes, we have Shamira in there. We do have Baden in there. Got a couple copies of Falks already, which of course is a very good start. And then looking at the rest of these, again, some of the primary heroes that we're looking for in the summons itself. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's hop out and grab Falks. Because we have NV, we have Shamira. I believe we already have Estrilda. I think that's who we built last time. Right there's the Awakened version of Estrilda. So yes, indeed, we will hop over. We will do the summons out for Falks. I'm making sure, because again, just looking kind of at our tier list that we were talking about, we do have some opportunity to build out the hero. And then, of course, we have poke coins. Then we also have bait. So as you can see, 780 is going to be easy to finish out Falks. We already have 2 copies. He is already at Legendary, which is very easy. So let's go ahead, hop in here, continue doing all these summons for Falks in the entirety. And I'm hoping that we can get lucky with a couple of these copies. Maybe finally pull the diamonds. We're at 53,000 diamonds right now. Double cards right there, and we do have a lot of cards available in here. What's going on? There he is, Van Gogh. This is Van Gogh's account. This is Little Slayer's account. So we do want to pick up Falks in here because again, this is going to be the next primary hero to build, and there is a copy. So that gives us 3 in totality, which means even there that will take him up to that Legendary Plus. So we need 3 more copies for Mythic. Maybe we can come in here. Maybe we can get lucky with a double or a triple in here to knock out some of these. And there we go. So 2 more summons and we pick up another copy. So we need 2 more for Mythic. And again, anytime that we're able to come in here, save some cards with the summons, because like I said last time, we knew we were saving some cards overall, looking for these specific heroes, looking for these Awakened heroes. And come on, there is another glow, just another single, meaning we need 1 more copy of Falks. And maybe we could see a double, because we're still going to have to pull quite a few more in here. And look at that, hoping to get some of these Legendary Bizarre Totems. They are really a game changer. If you haven't built out collections, or if you're not focusing on collections, it really does make a big difference on being able to build them out. And there is another copy, just a single. So that takes them to Mythic. So we have 3 more to go to Mythic Plus. Haven't seen the diamonds yet either. I'm hoping those will pop up in just a minute. The 1, 2, remember, when you start looking at the pity timer, it is about 7 summons, usually about 60 to 70 cards. And when we do see the pity, most of the time we do not hit that pity timer in the entirety. So there is another copy, just another single. 2 more to get him up to that Mythic Plus. And I'm hoping the streaming RNG is with us. It's not looking the best as it sits right now. Getting a crazy amount of resources out of here, though. It is going through a lot of cards. Again, another single. We need 1 more. Awaken Pity, 55 to 60. I hope so, Finn. Sometimes it seems like it's a lot more pulls, that it is on that 6th pull in its entirety before we ever get it. And it seems like here we're not getting the best of luck as it sits right now with the copies that we're pulling of this hero, because I'm thinking it's 5, and then there 6 is just another single. So let's go ahead and build them up a little bit. Hop out of there. Maybe when we get back in, 55 to 60 after the 2.5 buff. So there we go. And look at this, guys. Do we have Begress? Oh, we need food. Oh, we have Umbriel as well. Now, Begress, we have double copies of Begress already. We are going to need food. I'm wondering, we should, in my opinion, guys, we should definitely use some of those diamonds to finish out Begress right there, because that is going to make a really big difference in progression. Begress is being used in, I believe, all game modes at this point. He's been a hero that has been pivotal through so much of the content we've seen him being used. So there is our mythic. Boom, there we go. And then, of course, these 3 copies are going to bring us up to the Mythic Plus. So we need 3 more copies. 3 more copies will take them up to Ascended. Then, of course, the 3 additional copies will come from the Stargazer. With the Stargazer, we'll be able to, again, kind of build it up a little bit further. So hopefully, guys, 3 copies, 430 cards. So we should be able to do this. So we're what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're 300 cards down already. Come on, got to get lucky. Last 3 copies here. And Falks will be up to Ascended. And again, Falks utility definitely rising as we're starting to see all of the rotations through all of the different game modes. There is another copy, just another single. That means 2 more, and he will be built. We'll have to hop in and go through some of these Poke Coins, because I know there was a lot. I think we used about 1 million Poke Coins last time, but absolutely going to have to focus on building those. And boom, another single. We are 1 single copy away, guys, and he will be up to that Ascended level. Come on, folks. Still not seeing the diamonds as of yet. I can't believe last time we did these summons that we did not get the diamonds. And that is our last copy. Just another single. So 1 by 1, we do climb up and build Falks in the entirety. Still pretty interesting that he did come in as the Graveborn hero. That was kind of still kind of blows my mind that he did come in as a Graveborn. There he is up to that Ascended level. Let's hop in the Stargazer. Let's swap this one out and put him in here to build him up and add those stars on there. Boom, there we go. The Falks is in there. My free-to-play account is going very slow now. Yeah, ZZ, mine did as well. It seems like I'm free-to-play, and if you caught a couple of those, we've been kind of stuck. So yeah, we need recasting elixir. We need a lot of different things. But ZZ, my account right now, looking at the Greyborn Tower, the regular tower, the King's Tower, the Wilder Tower, there are so many places right now where I am getting stuck in the entirety, just for the fact that we're power capped. We're power capped in so many places. So here, guys, we need 3 more copies. Could we get lucky with some of these copies? 3 to build Falks up. Again, just some more resources. Boom, there's copy number 1. 2 more copies, and this will be done. Come on, could we pull a double? Could we pull a triple? Could we get something out of here? Because, of course, we want to save those diamonds. I'm going to go over, and we're going to see about Begress. I want to go in there and hop in for Begress. There is copy number 2. And what's happening, Carol? Thank you for joining us. So happy to have Falks, though. All around, he's the center. Yes. We have started seeing that. Now, remember, since Falks has been released, I believe we've only been through 2, maybe going on the 3rd iteration within all of the Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble. So we don't even know the full effectiveness that we have today of Falks, just because we haven't seen the rest of the content. We do have to wait and see. And there is our final copy, leaving us 30 Stargazer Scrolls, or 36 in total. But like I was saying, it really does make a big difference because we don't know exactly where and if he's being used in all of the other formations. But as it sits right now, such a very strong hero. And I don't see any reason he wouldn't be used. Unpopular opinion, Scion over Falks. That's why I thought, Finn, we'll go in for the diamonds on there, because I believe, yeah, we already have Scion built. So we might even be able to pull a couple more copies in the Dragon Isle. Because we didn't have to use them for Falk. So looking at here, we have 4 scrolls, a wish list, absolutely. And honestly, guys, let's change this up a little bit, because even looking at the heroes, again, thinking priority, Begress, absolutely a priority that's being used in here. And then even looking, see, Kregor, I know PvP, Treasure Scramble, he does require a pretty good build out. But honestly, Begress, Scion is being used everywhere. Even Valfura is being used. Helion is being used. What do you think on Umbriel? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Finn, is building up Scion a little bit. Are we thinking Umbriel, or are we thinking building out Kregor? Because I know looking in the bottom, Nihilus sees a little bit of use, kind of in a couple use formations. Cassius and, of course, the other damage dealer not being used anywhere. Kregor is only in the Treasure Scramble, and I do not like building, Kregor, that's what I'm thinking. But I do not like building a hero that is used literally in only one single game mode. but also getting some more summons in here, getting some more of these heroes is going to be able to make a little bit more progression within the Dragon Forge. Gregor needs, yeah. And the E60, I'm thinking that's the problem, Finn. Um, yeah, and I know right here with Umbriel, we haven't seen really any use. And I've seen him in a niche sub formation again if we don't have everyone used. But I know he also does have a few copies. So let's hop in here, do the summons, and we're going to burn through this. Now, remember, we are looking for really food. Food's going to be the big thing in here because we do need some more copies um, of our little food. I've drawn the blank on his name right now, but we will see him. Gorgie. We need copies of Gorgie, and we need multiple copies of Gorgie to actually build out in the entirety. So we're going to go through these diamonds. Maybe we'll get something. Maybe we'll even get a Highborn Draconic hero out of here, which is awesome to see. Boom, there we go. It is a copy of Begress. As much as I would love to see Begress on my main account, we unfortunately have not seen him. And there we go. There is Gregor, guys. I love how this hero looks, how this hero is built. When he drops out of the sky, when he comes into the fight, I absolutely love it. It is so just completely epic. There is Scion. Again, we know we wanted to add some more copies of Scion in there. And I'm thinking even with the chest, we probably have a crazy amount of resources in here, which we can definitely look at. There is Begress again. Man, I need this luck over on my account because that is already double copies of Begress. And I believe that is going to allow us to build the star already on Begress right there. Another elite, which gives us Melion. All right, so that's a lot of resources. That's a lot more food. Now in here, I believe he's building land right now. If I remember, I think, yes, land is being built. And I think Leviathan, yeah, we have a couple copies of these heroes. Even looking again at Begress. Let's get some food. Look at all the copies of Begress down here, guys. That is pretty impressive. That is awesome. Are these Crossroads of Time heroes Awaken, Estrella, Scrath, and now Falks, all alternative version that's going to become a new class? It could. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do or what they're going to do with it and how, I guess, how effective and what they're planning on doing bigger picture with the crossover itself. It's kind of odd. It is kind of odd. I don't know exactly what they're looking to do or how they're going to do it with that big the big crossover piece or the alternate universe piece. A lot of players are also speculating in that aspect that they're going to have an awakened version of Orthos and Zolrath together, which I think would just be absolutely epic if they released, and we've done it in the past with the double releases, but if they did release both of those heroes in their entirety at the same time as two counterpoint kind of awakened heroes, it would be awesome. What's going on, Brendan? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Doing awesome. We just got done with football. The Lions just started playing at 1 o'clock, so it's pretty cool. I want Lucretia and Zap as Hypo. That would be awesome if they did an awakened version of Lucretia and Zafriel together. But like I said, if they did it together and went in there and built out both of those specific heroes, if they did Zolrath and they did Orthos together as an awakened version of both of those, again, I think that would be a really cool alternative. Let's hop in this Oaken, guys. Look at this Pocoins. Boom, 1.388 million Pocoins in here. It is insane how many Pocoins are available in here. So let's see. So who did we get? We got Begress. And if you set it up like mine, this is probably the Draconic Tower, which it is. Now I am going to use a couple diamonds in here just to go ahead and add these in because we want to add Falks in here as well. I'm not too worried about waiting for these because, again, it's just 100 diamonds. We have a lot in the bag as well. And then 4 is going to be Falks, putting them in here because I feel like these furnitures we are going to be able to build out in the entirety. And I'm going to use Finn's recommendation on leaving some of the red cards in there. Now, what do we leave the red cards in there, Finn? Let me know. And what's going on? Iron Knight, hello. Hope you're doing fine. Yeah, doing, like I said, very well today. Hope the Lions win. They really need to. So do you think it's worth to save that amount of time? Probably not, ZZ. And again, it's hard because when you're going in here and when you're looking at using resources kind of versus not using resources, if you're saving all of your resources, you are foregoing building up and really having a lot of a lot of things in your account that you need to build. Again, when you think about banking all of these resources, you are hindering the progression on your account within the cursed realm, the treasure scramble, the nightmare corridor, campaign progressions, everything. If you're stocking and saving everything in the entirety, you are going to be really hurting your account, because even thinking of the Pokecoins right here, 1.3 million Pokecoins, we could be using Aurelia, we could be using Nox, we could be using Palmer, even looking at a lot of the other heroes in here. Having the furniture built out for a lot of these is super important. Since we don't have them built out and they're not built out in the entirety, you're missing all of the furniture in here in the entirety. Is it worth saving? No, because you are going to hurt your progression. Now in here, guys, I am going to use one of these cards just because I want to get Laios out of here. We'll get Laios to the 9 of 9. Now, of course, with this account being free to play, we only want to build these up to the 9 of 9. We don't want to go above and beyond that, just again for the fact that we have so many heroes in here, and I want to drop out Laios. I do want to drop in that awakened version of Falk, so make sure that we're building out and getting some furniture for him in the entirety. And once we do max out a couple other ones in here, we'll go ahead and we will do the exact same. Use the card. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Finn, is use the cards on Laios. Yeah, I have Envy and Awakened Chimera. I have 500 Time Emblems. I would do a Strilda. I would use a Strilda in that, Mustafa. A Strilda would be the next one. I did Liberta. Which one goes after Liberta was my first one. So after Liberta traditionally is Demia. Some players build Nox to have a Hypo, but yeah, you could have carded Falks for rebate in the ship. Oh, we can still do that. We can still get that in the ship. Because of course, guys, we have a crazy amount of Pokecoins. Let's knock some of these out. Let's get a couple pieces of furniture in here. Boom, there is a double right there. We got a Shahan and we get a Palmer out of there. Now, question is, Finn, what do you think about the new hero? Now, with the new Graveborn hero, I know initially hero wasn't being used. I looked at Sibo's last guide, and Sibo actually has the new Graveborn hero in formations. I don't know, Finn, if you have been seeing the new Graveborn hero being used anywhere, but we have seen her, and again, Sibo's guide was showing her being used in formations. You could have taken Falks for the rebate in the ship. Yeah, like I said, we'll build Falks. We have the cards already there. We can definitely do just the 9 of 9. All of these kind of just the random built in here. Popular opinion, Dragon summons Stargazing rather than Scion and Liberta. Yeah, Scion and Liberta are pretty good. Again, I don't know the effectiveness of them overall. So let's see. So if we got the 9 of 9 cards, there we go. So Shahan is done. And very similar to what Finn was saying, go ahead and I'm going to use the cards because, I mean, we have so many Pokecoins at this point. Saving the cards just to take a hero that is impressive like Falks. Use all 9 of these, build out in the entirety. And like he was saying, now we can go to the shop and we can get a rebate on our Pokecoins. Because if you remember, when it comes to specific heroes, this is the reason why so many players race to build the heroes in the entirety. When you start looking at the advanced ship and when you start looking at getting all of these resources back, even getting Falks built up to where he is, I mean, you're getting the animated avatar frame. You're getting 6,000 Pokecoins right there. 7, 8,000, 9, 10, 11,000 Pokecoins just out of the rebate itself for building out Falks. And again, knowing Falks being such a high priority within AFK Arena, getting a rebate of 11,000 Pokecoins is absolutely pretty crazy. We'll swap him out. And the reason why I wanted to do that was we do want to get Begress built out as well. And again, we have Nyla in here. We have a couple other heroes, taking them up and building up to the 9 of 9. Even here, we're going to have to watch Hildwyn because Hildwyn is already built up a little bit. GB is a warrior, basic knowledge, warrior dead on arrival. Yeah, look at Antandra. I built Antandra and it was very disappointed. So there is another copy for our amazing Wilder tank. Aethys, just a monster when it comes to the amount that he can take. Aurelia, another piece right there. And like we were saying, I know Finn had mentioned about doing the 9 of 9 and keeping those red cards on the table, just so if we get a hero like Falks that's a game changer, you can take him to 9 of 9 instantly. Arena of Heroes round ends in 3. I'm about to finish first place. Very nice. The Arena of Heroes ends in 3 hours. That is very epic. PvP, if you guys have seen, guys, I do not really PvP much at all. It is something that I don't really focus on in a majority of games. So there's Hildwin again. Let's see where he's built. I know he's got to be close. That does take Aethys to that 3 of 9. Now, Hildwin's already at 8, so we need one more there. Nobody else really close. Let's see if we can pull this last copy for Hildwin. Then we'll swap another Draconic in there. All content, PvP, Curse Realm. You compete with other players. Yeah, everything's a competition, guys. There it is. That is the last piece. So again, we want to take these heroes to 9 of 9. I do not want to build them above or higher than that 9 of 9. So we will drop the hero out. And let me see who we got in here. We have Rimuru. Rimuru is still being used a couple places. Albedo. I believe Albedo does need furniture in there. Let's run through Celestials. Who do we have here? So we got Aurelia. Everybody else pretty well built. Who do we have here? So we're still building out Nox. Okay, getting a couple more copies of a few heroes. Dimensional heroes again. Should we build out Rimuru? We have Shuna. Now, guys, if you remember, Shuna is still one of the absolute top tier heroes within AFK Arena. When it comes to buffing that plus 30 signature item, I want to build out Shuna. I will build out Shuna. That's another one. Begress, we got one piece already in there. Let's continue, guys. 1.28 million Pokecoins. I know Little Slayer had reached out and asked about finishing it out in here. Sheltier really needs built. Already really needs the furniture. Is that what you mean, Finn? What's going on, Kookie? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the amazing content as always. Thank you, Kookie. Thank you for watching. There is Aurelia again. What is your UID on the free-to-play account? I tried to add you on my main. I'm going to have to look. Tomato Garden. I'm not sure right off the bat. I don't think I have it written down. I thought I did, but I do not. I'm going to have to check. PvP is a tight decision. I can't win without spending money. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. And PvP is that way, guys. There is a copy for Palmer. When it comes to PvP, PvP is honestly Shell Tier, SI30, Furniture 0, E60. Oh, so we don't need much on there? We don't need any for, do you mean Shell Tier? Let's see what we got. Let's throw some more furniture on there. I want to make sure if anyone's getting close, building up to that 9 of 9, where are we at? We got 6, a bunch of 6s across the board. Yeah, so we still need a lot more. And we got 4 cards on the table. So many of these heroes are going to have this furniture, guys. It's going to be awesome. There is Aethys again. I believe that does take him to 4 or 5. There is Nox. Nox, we want to get the furniture and the engraving on. I also want to go through some chests because there are an incredible amount of chests in here that are just sitting on a insane amount of resources. Again, if you're saving all of your resources, you're really hurting progression on your account because you're banking a crazy amount of resources. It does make it a lot more difficult for progression wise because you're not using any of your resources, any of the Pokecoins, the engraving mats, everything else. Most people don't touch normal arena. Yeah, the normal arena, I do not at all. I don't even set my teams in there anymore. There we go. There's another copy for Nox. That's a couple copies in a row. We are at 6 already. Boom, they got to be close. And I think we have a couple at 8 now. There's an 8. So again, we're going to have to watch Nox. Couple 7s. You're definitely knocking out these Pokecoins. I still couldn't believe there were 2 million plus Pokecoins on here. As a absolute insane. There's Shahan back to back right there with another piece for Palmer. I think that takes Palmer to a 7. Want to see a couple more for Nox. Shuna, I believe that is 2 for Shuna. And again, getting that 3 of 9, the 9 of 9 on some of these heroes, really going to make a difference. There is Aurelia. Even money can't top up the 1%. Yeah, you need a crazy amount of money. If you want to be top in pretty much any game, especially on the PvP aspect, get ready to dump. In some players, I mean, the peak of AFK Arena, they were spending like $5,000 a month or more, which I think is just, it's insanity when you look at the amount. And there we go. Aurelia goes to the 9 of 9. But if you're dropping like $5 grand into AFK Arena every single month, It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let me see if we have any. See, a lot of these just because we haven't built any one with furniture. There are so many heroes in here. Look at all of the zeros across the board. Even looking at Telmar, we are definitely going to have to build Telmar. Let's finish out. You know what? I'm going to do one more just to finish out Nox right here. This will take Nox to 9 of 9, which is kind of crazy. Lightbearer, the Captain Girl. Yeah, 9 of 9 furniture. That's what I was thinking. Do you think that or Telmar? Because I was looking at both of those because I know Alvida absolutely needs it, but I know Telmar does as well. So we can drop this out. We can drop Alvida in here, which again, I know she really does need it. I don't know. I invest mostly in Anishiro's basic build with a select few, and it works. So there we go. Let's go ahead and again, 1.14. These Pokecoins do not feel like they're moving at all from where we were. There's another copy for Begress. Archers does need, it does nothing. Oh, for Aethys, I think you mean Aethys in there. There's Palmer, and I feel like, you know what, stat wise, survivability wise, I know some of them, the 9 of 9, not quite as big, but I feel like we have so many, we can finish these out. We can finish out so many of these heroes in the entirety. We could drop out Aethys, but I think that finishes out Palmer as well. I think that was Palmer, and there we go. We got Begress built up a little bit further. Yeah, so let's drop out Palmer. And again, let's drop Telmar in here because we know the furniture in there is going to make a big difference. Yeah, the Fish Girl. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I knew we'd be able to swap her out pretty quick in there because the Fish Girl, which is I love Finn's recommendation and naming of the conventional heroes. So we got the Fish Girl in there. A Rimuru we did drop in there as well. Again, I'm still seeing Rimuru some niche places within AFK Arena. What's going on, Gazi? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Hopped on a little bit early on the stream, but definitely it was an hour late. Had to take care of a bunch of stuff today, including the football that we had. So there is Begress again. Begress going to go to 9 of 9. Yeah, he saved for 3 years, Brendan. When you think about the time and the commitment to not spend anything in AFK Arena for 3 years, it's absolutely insane. Van Gogh's account is just insane with the amount of stuff in here. But again, that's 3 years of progression that could have totally been made in so much of the content that takes Shuna up to that 3 of 9. We got some 7s here. We have a 7, a couple 6s still. We already do have 9 on the table. We could use them. We could use them because again, we still got Rimuru aren't going anywhere, more powerful than Lucretia, and Lucretia is still SSS. Yeah, again, there's a lot of heroes. It's not going anywhere because I know Rimuru does play kind of a support role. I don't see Rimuru as a primary damage dealer. Now, Shahan and a couple other ones we are seeing again every now and then, and it really makes a big difference if you have every hero available in AFK Arena, or if you just kind of pick and choose on who you do have built. But there was a piece for Rem. Not even having Rem at the 9 of 9 furniture at this level is pretty impressive. That is absolutely pretty impressive. So that gives Rimuru that 3 of 9. Rem is already at 8, or no, 7. So we need one more for Aethys. And of course, Alvida, I might just build out Alvida because we're going to have a lot more cards on the table. Just thinking of finishing them out. This account needs Trishea. I think we have Trishea. I can look. Let me look, Finn, because I believe we do have Trishea. I think Trishea was already done. There's double for Begress. That puts 12 cards on the table. Let's go ahead and optimize these. Boom, a little bit more for Begress. And again, in here, I'm just going to use some of these because I know we're going to have more in just a minute. Let's go in here and just finish out Kalmar with 8. So that is going to complete that up to the 9 of 9. So again, this is going to be another one. And let me check if we got Trishea. So boom, drop that one out. I thought we had, did we have Trishea last time? No, there's Nevi. There's Trishea. So we do not have Trishea built out at all. Red card on 4, low key hurt my eyes. I honestly, Finn, when you're sitting on 1 million Pokecoins, I don't think it matters a lot. just for the fact that you're still sitting on north of 1 million Poe coins. Again, I'm not really too worried about it because using the cards. If I was min-maxing or trying to figure out exactly who we wanted to build, different story versus sitting on 1 million Poe coins, just because I know we're going to build everyone. Now, was that it for Rem? I think that took Rem up to 8. Yeah, we got to watch Rem. And then I think Athalia was the other one, or excuse me, Aethys was the other one. None for Alvita yet. I gave Vigris the E60 30, but isn't good enough until you get him to the 40. Yeah, the 40 makes a big difference with him because I believe that is where the damage amplification factor comes in. If I remember Vigris correctly, that's the point where it really does make a big difference because of I think it's a plus 20 damage. Now, the other thing with Vigris, remember, is Vigris needs a really, really big tenacity set. If you haven't built that out, 37 red cards. Well, plus all the furniture we're pulling, Finn. It's not just the 37 red cards for the conversion. I mean, that's a lot of red cards in its entirety. But you're also talking about the hundreds of mythic pieces of furniture that we're going to pull just for the regular summons. Furniture bag is at max capacity. There we go. Let's go ahead. We have 6 cards already. Boom, a little bit closer right there. Let's go ahead and recycle this. What's it going to give us? Let's see how many. Boom, there we go, 49K. So there's another 50K. Again, still keeping us over that million point within the cards itself. And again, we got to look out for Rem. Also got to look out for Aethys in there. There's Shuna, or excuse me, Shahayan. Another piece right there. Yeah, Vigris, the plus 40. But like I said, also with the tenacity. The tenacity set is the other big part. And I thought that was the 9 of 9, which it is. Or Shahan, so we will drop Shahan out. Again, do you think Nyla? I'm kind of thinking Nyla. Now, I know he was building LAN. What do we have? Do we have furniture in the storeroom? I'm kind of wondering. We did overbuild Palmer. I'm going to have to look. I think we got 1 extra piece on that summon. Then, of course, we have that 1 piece for Taylene right there. Storage room. Who do we got in here? Taylene. Oh, so we have a lot for Taylene. There's Brutus, and there's the 1 that we did for Palmer. That's okay, though. Any leaks for the new hero? Not yet, Ghazi. We haven't seen anything. All of these plus 4 required heroes are killing me. Yes, it's almost just chasing what you need to do and what you need to find within the heroes itself. Let's see who else we got in here. So we got Ivan. I mean, as much as I love Ivan, that's one that definitely needs 9 of 9 furniture. We have Baden in here as well. Should we do Ivan or Baden? That's a tough choice because even here, guys, we don't have Mira. Who do we have here? Again, thinking of heroes that are seeing utility. We have Tassie in here. Again, we don't have Trishia built out. Ooh, there are a lot of heroes in here. That's kind of crazy. League for a new hero will be male unit. Male unit. So there you go. So that's the big leak for today, guys. Even here, thinking like a Rosaline or even tower progression in here with a with some of our damage dealers. There's a lot in here. And again, thinking, I believe here Albedo. I know the furniture in here, I believe is the cheat. Man, even here, we still have Sun Jin Woo without anything, and Sheltier as well. Man, let's finish out 1 more, and then we'll drop Sheltier in there. We'll get Sheltier some furniture. Just because I know Treasure Scramble Sheltier is still being used. There's a copy for Vigris. And again, I don't think we're going to go through all of the Poe coins that we have today. We will definitely save some. So there's Garok. I believe Garok minimum needs that 3 of 9 furniture. Again, just thinking of the optimal build or really that basic build. Belfura furniture in there as well. Albedo need, that's what I thought. I thought it was the cheat death fin. So let's drop Albedo in there. I feel like we are due for a really good hero. Yeah, they keep coming out with a lot of support heroes, but they're kind of like the suboptimal heal kind of support hero. I feel like we could definitely use one. Shielding healing hero instead of kind of the cross heroes, I guess, that they kind of build. Even here, so let's get Albedo, that cheat. You know what? I'm going to go with Valfura just because I know that that's a hero that we can finish out to the 9 of 9. There we go. Sorceress Cycle. So we can drop her out, and we'll drop Albedo in there in that slot. So 9 of 9. Again, Albedo does need that cheat death if we're going to use her to really be effective. I don't have animated Highborn yet. Need a new hero to be a good Highborn. We're due. We are due after Kalon came last. It is going to be important, or I believe the new next hero might be a Highborn Draconic hero. We're going to have to wait and see. Because after doing the Graveborn, I don't know if, and remember, we're still going to get, or we should get, an Awakened Wilder hero. But knowing with the crossover with Falks, what it's going to be is a question mark. Just because Falks was such a wild card there. That does take Shuna up to that 9 of 9. Let's drop Shuna out. Now, again, thinking of who else do we need here? Again, Scarlet, I think when we start getting to multiple teams, might make a big difference. Even thinking like Naruko in here. I know he's an older hero, but again, really making a difference. I know Goran does as well, but we don't have Goran built out. Some of the link, even here, we have 5 of 9 right here. You don't need Scarlet. So we only have one Awakened hero, Finn. You have the Unicorn, yeah, but that's not going to fit 3 teams with Awakened version of Estrilda. That's not going to make a difference when you get to 2 teams and 3 teams. Just having one Highborn Draconic hero, or excuse me, one Awakened hero is not going to be the game changer in multiple teams. Estrilda, Albedo, Unicorn. Awakened Belinda. You only have one. We only have one copy. Awakened Belinda is not built either. That's another one that is that I don't think we had. Belinda's not built at all. We have one copy, but I don't know if one copy is enough to carry the entire team for content. I don't know. We'll have to see. One Belinda will get the job done. How many attempts? How many attempts are we looking there for getting the job done? There we go, guys. There is that 3 of 9. She doesn't need anything. So we got 8. Again, Rem, we have 8. Begress, we have 8. All right. We got to watch, guys. We're close on all of those. There we go. There is Baden and Garok. Garok, I love the shielding aspect that he provides within a lot of different game modes. Wilder Tower, he does incredibly well. But there is Rem. So that will actually, boom, take Rem. Finally up to that 9 of 9. Celine, Land, Garok, Kregor, Lyo, 60. Any recommendations? I don't think Land needs the engraving right off the bat. Does this account have I think maybe got Awakened Lucius? Yeah, we don't have any more summons. Like I said, Land doesn't need the 60. I believe Gorak doesn't need the 60. If you're doing Kregor, Kregor only needs it for the one single place is being used, which is the Treasure Scramble. He doesn't need it used anywhere. So it'd be between really Lyos and Celine, because the other 3, again, Land really doesn't need it either when it comes to the engraving aspect. So between Celine and Lyos would be the 2. Again, as much as I like Kregor at a 60, for a lot of players, that's a pretty big carry in there. That's a pretty big build. Let me know what you think, Finn. Only one that needs a 60 is Kregor. Yeah, and again, Kregor is only used in one game mode. It's hard for me to build out a hero, especially, I mean, granted, if you have a lot of resources, if you're sitting on a lot in there, Iron Knight, it's not going to make a difference. If you're like me and you have limited resources across the board, it becomes a lot harder to kind of pick and choose who you want to build without having a crazy amount of resources. All right, guys, let me do 1 or 2 more pieces of furniture. There's a piece for Rimuru. We can finish out a couple more heroes. We still have a lot more whole coins that we could use. There is Albedo. Trying to finish out, and maybe that one piece for Aethys, but there is Garok. Back-to-back furniture. Boom, double pieces for Garok. That does give us 11 more cards on the table. That is crazy. All right, so there we go. So Albedo is at the 3, and again, Rimuru is right there. We have well over 9 cards. So we have 2 cards that we can use out of here. Again, let's go ahead and drop these on This might hurt your eyes. You might have to look away for a minute, Finn. I want to finish out Begress. That'll give him the 9 of 9. Again, we're going to have to see exactly who else we want to finish out in here because that will finish out Rimuru as well. We'll have to see who we want to swap, who we're going to build, who we want to swap because we have both of those done. Boom, 9 of 9. Those are 2 more completed heroes. Boom and boom. There we go. Begress go past 9. Oh, we could leave Begress in there. Again, do we need Nyla? Now, Nyla is a question. And again, land, knowing that he's building land right now, would that make a big difference to build and put furniture on land? But we could keep Begress in there. We could definitely build it up. I know Scion's another one. Getting past the 9 of 9 would make a big difference. Land needs to be on the wish list. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking land since I know that he is building land. That it made sense. Awakened Baden is trash. Again, this is a hero where gonna find use within the Greyborn Tower. Just because again, we have Falks and Chimera. So if we're looking at the third team that we're using within there, having an Awakened hero in there could make a big difference. And again, thinking of what we have in here, but I'm gonna finish up with the Pokecoin. So we'll go ahead, we'll recycle. I'm going to let Little Slayer take over and build whatever else he wants to with our 840,000 plus Pokecoins, because that's kind of crazy. Almost 850,000 Pokecoins. You can go ahead and finish out whoever you want to, because I want to open again some more of those chests in here. Also looking at the Beast Ground. This is a 0.2. We have 54,000 baits. So it's kind of crazy looking at where we're at, because even Beast Resonance right here, you can see we're at 9 already. But looking at who we want to build, I know Slumbering Seal, again, for a lot of different game modes makes a big difference. But looking in here, who else should we focus on, knowing that all of them are at 9? I love Awakened Baden. Yeah, I absolutely do. I love Awakened Baden. I love how he summons. Absolutely works super, super well. So in here, we do have 5 cards. So I'm thinking in here, and again, thinking maybe the Seal, which I do like. And I know right here, another one, and I know Ibis is another one that works incredibly well, but even Ice Crown, Treat Spectator work well. Even looking at building out the Owl works well. Trickery Chest used in a couple different places. What do you think? Should this be a good wish list for us, Finn? Let me know what you guys think, because I know, again, a couple ones, and I know Seal's a little bit lower, but there's a lot of places. Celino Verza for what? Collect dust in the basement. I think about Gregor. I don't see what's coming next since I only use him in Treasure Scramble. Yeah, that's it. That's what I kind of worry about, is building out a hero, an older hero like Gregor, that is just used in that one specific game mode. That's why, again, it's a little hard for me to go through and build them out. But let's hop in here, guys. Let's do some of the lures in here. Let's pull a couple copies. And I'm thinking even here is getting the beasts up to, and they're 9 across the board. So we're gonna have a long ways getting to 12 and 15. I'm wondering where we're going to be able to, or how we're going to be able to do this. Then, of course, Nightfall Pegasus in there really makes up, and honestly, in a free-to-play account, Nightfall Pegasus has made a really big difference in progression. Most people only touch Treasure Scramble, Nightmare Corridor. Treasure Scramble, hop in there and do it. All right, let's see, because this is going to be a lot of pulls in here for these 3 heroes, and we need multiple copies across the board. So there is our, I believe that was the Ibis right there. Boom, got a secondary copy. And I wish if you had so many Pokecoins, maybe they could let us just summon in hundreds instead of doing 10 at a time. Because we have 50,000 baits that are literally just sitting here. We have a lot that we could build out. And I'm almost thinking with the Seal is building up the Seal. And then there's double copies already of the Seal. And then focusing on another beast in the entirety. Because primary, remember, we want to take Seal to an 18. That's how we are building our free-to-play account regularly. But knowing exactly how many copies it's going to build is we didn't want to take the Seal up to 18 using secret spices. We wanted to try to naturally build all of the other ones in their entirety. That's a lot of copies. Let's see where we're at. 'Cause personally, haven't built copies like this for beasts in a long time. But yeah, where is boom? That should give us, so yeah, so 3 across the board, another 3, 3 right there. Yeah, and then we need 4. So that takes 10 and 11. All right, let's keep this going, guys. 50,000. This is going to be a lot. That is Resonance 18 guaranteed. Oh, we're overthinking it. Yeah. I honestly, Finn, I wasn't even thinking about it. How many? And again, because we do polls every week or two, what 54,000 translate or resonates into. Yeah, if it's going to be 18 guaranteed, you want to take them to 18, guys. When we look at the new free to play account, the one that we've been playing for about 3 months, we are focusing on beast resonance in the entirety, really stressing and pushing, because once beasts get to 18, every new beast that is released into AFK Arena, you are getting it up to 18. Bait past 18 is trash. Yeah, it's such a teeny tiny pull, or a really very, very small increase to their abilities. Once you do get past 18, it doesn't really make a big difference. You'll naturally get baits out of different game modes. And again, that's the reason why past 18, we have been using a lot of the baits to get more of the Awakened Beast. So actually building it up and getting more copies of them. I don't think we'll get normal pets ever again. I think we will, Finn. I almost guarantee we will. I can't see them excluding normal pets forever. I can see them not having quite the precedence, because, of course, there are a lot of players that are building it out, and there are a lot of players that will still buy Pokecoins and will still buy different things in here, just out of the packages itself. I think we will. I really do think we'll get normal beasts again. Maybe not as frequent, but and they can't really release Awakened Beasts on a super consistent basis, just for the fact that so many players can't afford them. I know as much as AFK Arena likes to farm players, it is still very expensive to build it. They are still in the sheer cost of it, again, to kind of build those up. So there is already 2 13s across the board. And where did we pull any? I was going to say, I thought we pulled a couple copies of our other beast. So we're just going to take them to 18. If we are really overthinking this, I'm going to take them to 18 and we'll stop at 18. A GF about to end. New Awakened Piece. Need to drop for the new season. I hope they don't do it every season. If they're dropping an Awakened Beast every 30 days, because remember, it also said that it will only be the most current Awakened Beast. So think about it for a minute, Finn, is if they use the same Awakened Beast for 2 of the Golden Frontier seasons, and let's say that's kind of the iteration every 2 or every 3 months, we're getting a new Awakened Beast. The current Awakened Beast is still going to be active for that season. Whether if it's 1, 2, 3 iterations of the Golden Frontier, they will still run it for the season. We will still see that for the entire season, that same beast being used. Because again, we have Highborn Draconic heroes, we have Awakened heroes. There's still a lot of stuff to come. There is still an incredible amount of stuff coming down the pipeline with everything in AFK Arena. Again, there is so much that is going to be coming. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how players can keep up with any of it. It's going to be tough. And honestly, it can be, and it will be difficult to kind of stay up with it. All right, so here the seal is already at 14, but I know the copies here. Let's get the seal. You know what? I'm going to do 8. I'm going to pull up 8 more copies of the seal. Here we go. Boom, that is done. What do we got here? We need 2 more here, and what, 4? Let's try to finish these out. And again, I want to swap these out. So let's do, I think, 4 more. I think, again, like we said, are we kind of overthinking it here? What do we need here? We need 2 more, and that will be to 18. So that will drop out the seal. And again, systematically, this is where we want to build these to 18. So seal goes to 18. Done. Boom, adult seal, just like that. We have 3 awakened beasts and companions already. Yeah, so they will come to classic. Eventually, I know they will, but there we go. So the seal is done. So I'm gonna drop out the seal. I want to drop in my baby owl. I love the owl. Such a very, very cool beast. Now, also, let's see the ibis right here. Let's just go ahead and throw 3 more because that takes ibis to 15. 15. All right. Again, we really don't want to, we want to make sure we don't overbuild these, but I think if we can get them all to 18, that's going to make a big difference. Can you show us, can you show us 3 awakened pets? I can. I don't know if we have companions on here. I don't know if there's anything. Just for a preview, what is about to come. Yeah, I'll have to cover them. You know what? I can do that in a video later tonight, Finn. I can hop on my old school account because I don't know exactly what's going on with Little Slayer's account and if and when or if he's ever played companions. I do not know. This isn't my account, or I would just hop right over. We can definitely check it out because I think we have about another 15 minutes. Yeah, about another 15 minutes for the stream, guys. I'll hop in. There's my owl. And I love when the owl looks like the little baby, the cute little baby owl. Boom, another owl right there. So Steel's already at 18. Here we go, getting a lot more of the ibis. I didn't. No, I didn't think so, Van Gogh. I didn't know if you were playing companions at all. I know a lot of players that never log in companions or have never played companions. So I'll hop on my account because I know, again, I want to see what the beasts look like and how the 3 beasts they have. Now, if you guys remember, originally Companions was going to be a testing ground for a lot of content, and that's kind of exactly what it has kind of become, where they're testing and kind of fine-tuning a lot of details when it came to the Golden Frontier, when it came to some of the beasts. Now, of course, there are a few concerns with, I know, the Transcended Beast that we had over on Companions, that there were a lot of questions, again, kind of about if they were coming to AFK Arena. And we haven't seen the Transcended heroes as of yet. The Awakened Beast, again, was a big question. Were they coming to AFK Arena? And they did. Golden Frontier was another one. Was it coming to AFK Arena? And it did. We're going to have to see. The Cosmic Purple Dragon Awakened seems so lazy. Yeah, I don't like the build overall. I think when we think of the impact of the Awakened heroes or the Highborn Draconic heroes, like visually, that's my thought too, Finn. Is they could have made them a lot more epic than they did. I feel like it doesn't have a crazy amount of visuals, and there's not a ton to it when it comes to the build of the Awakened Beast itself. Definitely a little bit disappointed with it. I 100% agree with you on that one, because they could have done or could have built it a lot better or made it look a lot better than they did. Honestly, when I seen the Awakened Beast, just because, and I don't know if it's also because when you go into combat now, there is just so much craziness going on. It's even so hard visually to see and track and follow anything that is going on in AFK Arena because of the Awaken animations, you know, all of the AoE effects, Skarath, even with the big dust storm that starts at the beginning. It becomes incredibly difficult for a lot of it to go in there and really show and see what's happening in battle. And most players just kind of skip through the battles anyway. So it really, again, doesn't have such a massive, massive impact because so many players don't pay attention what's going on in battle. And it's so hard to go in there. And again, how hard it is to see what's happening in the battle itself. So here, guys, we have 5 right there. So what do we need here? We need another 2. So I'm actually going to do 6 in here. That should be able to build us up a couple more levels because we have what that's done there. So there is 5. That is 5. There we go. So I think we only need 5, not 6 in there, but there is 18 on there. Again, that means we can drop out the Ibis. Now, of course, let's go to Trickery Chest. Trickery Chest, I do, again, Ice Crown, I really do like. In here, even looking at the Treat Spectator, another one I really do like. Did we drop out the wrong one? I think I dropped out the wrong one. No, that was the right one. No, so we're good. We still got, yeah, still got a little one in there. Yeah, pushing this all the way to 18. Game changer, guys. 9 from Beast Resonance 9 all the way up to 18. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy how many normal pets have animation. Yeah, and that's my thought. That is my thought. This is one. Let me try to find another one. Yeah, I like the animation reaction, the different forms. You can see the beasts themselves. Where again, when you start putting the unicorn on the ground floor, on the ground, for the progression or for the game modes, it just gets run over from all the other heroes that are running around on the ground. It really is kind of just lost when you look at the floor and where the beast is being used. All right, now when we get to 18, we should, and we're still, I mean, we're 25,000 in when it comes to the beast. So Slayer is going to be able to make a insane amount of progression just for the simple fact that now, guys, if we have Beast Resonance all the way up to 18, that's going to be a lot of progression. That's going to be a lot of progression in every single game mode. Again, looking at going through there. Unicorn, zero reaction. Yeah, yeah, it's it's very hard when you look at any game mode, seeing what some of the beasts are doing, especially the unicorn. They could have done better, and I'm hoping the next one is a lot better. I'm hoping they really do step it up. Now, what do we need? Is it 6 level 18s? Because we got 2 already. I believe 18 was 6 beasts. I don't remember where 12 was. I'm gonna have to look because that's a lot of copies of the trickery chest. We're getting a lot of secret spice in here, guys. That is good. I would rather have the copies of the beast, but there we go. Trickery chest again. Boom, a double right there. Very nice on the pull. And another owl. Where are we at? Because here's 15. We just need these across the board. So what we need another 4, another 8. We have 8 for Aurelius. We have 10. So let's do our 8. Boom. So that takes beast number 3. There's our 4. There we go. Boom. The adult beast in there. What's going on, Darren? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Yeah, so that is 3 done already. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we just need 3 more in here. So the next 3 that we build are going to be the 3. Where's our trickery chest? Because I know, again, let's quick upgrade. Oh, we can go to 9 of 9 already. There we go. So that takes us to a 12. So he's already at a 12. Again, we have 1, 2, 3. So these 3, which we have to drop out. Yeah, we have to drop out 18 right there. Let's drop out Aurelius. And then I'm going to go in and let's do Treat Spectator. Again, doesn't really make a big difference because we know they're going to 18. And I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to make sure. But that's good, though, because now we don't need any more baits. So now with all of those chests, the pages and pages and pages and pages of chests that we have on this account, we are not going to have to use any of those for beasts, which means we're going to be able to build a lot more of the heroes, specifically with building out all of the engraving and all of the red chests, the plus 30, the plus 40 signature items. That's going to make a big difference. What's going on, G-Star? Thanks for joining us for the stream. Yeah, so we're close. What do we got left? 19,000 baits. So I'm kind of questioning, when could Little Slayer have done this before? Just based on how many coins we could have been at Beast 18. Again, this goes back to the amount that we have of just saving the resources and how, unfortunately, it can be kind of detrimental to the account, because we could be sitting in here and I can't even imagine, with all of the heroes, with all of the furniture, with everything else, how much higher we're going to score in every single game mode, Nightmare Corridor included, just because of having all of this built. Little Slayer is going to be crushing it with having all of these built. It's kind of incredible to think how much more progression we can do in here. So we got 6 more. Let's see. So we got a couple more trickery chests again. Getting a lot of copies of the trickery chest. And then right down here, we do have our Treat Spectator. Build these couple up again. Yeah, so we just need what? Those last two? Then I think we're done. 14, 11, and 13. And then we're done. So let's see. Who was on 14? I think right there, 14 was our owl. What do we need here? Across the board. And I think if we use these on the owl, that's going to bring us a lot closer. Let's say in short, love of the game, but a lot to drop in real life was crazy. No more saving for me. Yeah, like I said, saving, it's kind of crazy. I know. Again, it hinders your progression. That's kind of the big thing is it does hinder a lot of progression. And I know even thinking back to like Mickey's accounts, which we did a lot of summons on, it's incredible to see. And honestly, Van Gogh, big shout out to you for having the discipline to do it and save and really it's incredible. To me, guys, to be able to sit on resources and play this game on a consistent basis, day by day by day, saving and hoarding all of the resources. To me, it's incredible. It is incredible to see, Van Gogh, that you were able to save up this many resources. Even when I summon on accounts, that have the millions of diamonds, the discipline to do it, to go through all of the game modes, to me is incredible. It's incredible to save everything that you get every single day, just to even to hand it over to me as a YouTuber and go through and be able to just run through all of these summons. What's going on, Lucian? He completed with a very old account who's more developed. Yeah, it's incredible. Again, it's kind of crazy, especially because this is years, as this is literally years of saving resources, of saving all of the items across all of these accounts. And we are almost there, guys. There is our resonance 12. Oh, let's go ahead. Boom. There we go. So everybody, look at that. Everybody goes up to 12. Now we have 4 or 7 on 15. Oh, we're going to need more. Because right there, I was just didn't think about that part, but we are going to need more. But that did yield us a couple more copies that we got back, which I think that's going to max it out. So there is another copy for our owl. There we go. Treat spectator. Boom. Trickery chest, just like that. Still have 10,000 left. What do we need for the owl? Let's look at the owl in here because we have 2. So we need what? 4, 5, 6 for the owl. Let's do 6 for the owl. That will build out owl to 18. Level 18 resonance needs 8 beast at 18. That's what I was just thinking about. I literally, as soon as we hit the beast resonance and we got those rebates, I was like, wait a minute. I think we do have a few more. So boom, that takes our owl up to big owl. That's right. We are up to the real owl in there. Trickery chest again. Let's build this out a little bit further. So now we can drop out our owl. And again, let's hop in, drop in ice crown. 10,000 left, guys. We are getting close. We are absolutely getting close to 18. There's again, treat spectator right there. Man, there's the ice crown. Ice crown, the crowd control in there with ice crown is absolutely amazing. I love the ice crown. I use the ice crown all of the time to go in there and be able to crowd control right off the bat. Yeah, 8 beasts at 18. So I know that's 12. So we could definitely be a lot closer. 15 at least. Can we pull 18? 18 might be a little bit of a stretch because we're not overbuilding any of these. Again, we got rebated those 2 secret spices. We're getting pretty lucky though here with these pulls. What do we got? Look at all those 18s across the board. Again, treat spectator. 4 more copies there. Even looking here, let's quick upgrade. Boom, there goes to 12. All of these can go to 12 across the board. But who is the other one? Where's our ice crown? So let's do ice crown. There we go. So we got ice crown built up to 12. And again, all of these now go to 12. Oh, we got Panda Dumpty. I forgot about Pandy. Pandy is one that I love as well. Panda Dumpty, being able to drop his butt onto the battlefield for crowd control. Absolutely love it. There's another ice crown. Might have to throw in there. I use my ice crown with Amelia. Yeah, double crowd control in there. That's crazy, Darren. I know a lot of times ice crown is run with envy just to get up all of his buffs and everything else as kind of that crowd control piece. All right, there is Treat Spectator again. Yeah, we're 5,000 in. And Trickery Chest again. Where are we at with some of these? Again, Trickery Chest, that goes to, what do we need? 4? I think I have 5. Yeah, Trickery Chest needs 4. Go ahead and hop in those 4. That takes Trickery Chest. Or no, we need 17. Oh, we need 4 more. 4 short on there, but that's okay. There is 4. And then again, all of these. Yeah, so we're going to need a lot more copies, guys. That's going to be an 18. Ice Crown good with Dragon. Yeah, Dracona Gwen, yes. That was a really good one. We have 5,000 left. Guys, we have burned through a crazy, crazy amount. Come on, what do we need? Again, Trickery Chest, we need what? 3 copies. We need 4, we need 8, we need a lot more. We need a lot more. It's looking kind of slim here, Finn. I don't know if an 18 guaranteed is going to be there. We only got 4,000 left. These are going through pretty quick. Let's get those 4 copies of the Trickery Chest. I think it might be, unless there's Ice Crown again. Insane. Yeah, 52. If we don't, yeah, guys, that's insane. There's Trickery Chest again. Now we have 3 here, but I think Trickery Chest. What do we need? So we need 1 more. Let's see if we can get 1 more Trickery Chest. Boom, right off the bat. There's 17, so there is 18. Boom, giving us that ability. There is the grown-up Trickery Chest. All right, so again, we have Ice Crown. We could go ahead and do, let's drop out Trickery Chest. Let's drop in our Moth. Yeah, so guys, you see exactly how many Pokecoins it takes you to get up to 18 beasts. It is kind of insane there, ZZ. What do we got? 3,000 left. So we are almost done here. Ice Crown. I can use all in the last one. Yeah, we're pretty close. Because here, I mean, we have Ice Crown and then we have, he's pretty close too. What do we need? 8 more copies there. Then Ice Crown is another one. Yeah, we're pretty close across the board. Maybe 18 Meta Pet first. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be really close here. Just because we do have couple extra copies. We have 5 copies in there. Boom, there's another Ice Crown. Wow, guys, 52,000. That is an insane amount. Ooh, that is crazy. 5 more. Let's get 1 more. I know we're close, 1 by 1. There we go. There is 6. All right, so let's see what we got here. So what do we need here? So we need 4 plus 1. So we need 5 for the Treat Spectator. That is going to build Treat Spectator. There's our 4. There's our 4. Boom, gives us the ability. Goes to 18. Treat Spectator's done. Means we could even throw in a Panda. Yeah, and I mean, we have 1. That is 52,000 Pokecoins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 beasts up to 18. We literally just need to finish out 1 more that's at 13. That'll take us to 15. That'll take us to 18. Yeah, so we're going to have to just build this up a little bit further. But yes, we are 6 of 7 to 15. And then, of course, if we take up Ice Crown or any of these up to 18, that will build out 18. So we are definitely going to need a couple more pieces in here to build that out. But of course, all of these guys, quick upgrade across the board. So we definitely just need more pull coins. Finally made it on a Sunday live stream. What's going on, Tommy? We're just about done here, but look at all of these beasts. Again, once we get the next beast to 15, we're going to be there, and then a couple more to 18 because we need 8 beasts to 18, but that is 52,000 poke coins in its entirety, guys, to build up beasts. Going to be a game-changing difference in so many different places. Being able to build these up in the entirety, it's very, very cool to see. And we still have 264 of our leaves. Again, that could make a big difference in building the rest of these out. But all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you, Little Slayer, for letting me come on here and build these out in the entirety. You have so many heroes to build, which is incredible. Even getting land to a plus 30 signature item, getting Begress even built up a lot further. We got the 9 of 9 furniture. Thank you, Van Gogh, Little Slayer. It was very, very cool to come in here, and I wanted to hop in here. I wanted to use the pull coins, wanted to use some of those baits. So again, when you start looking at progression, now having a majority of the meta heroes, even thinking of heroes like Falks, that is going to be a really big game-changing hero into so many different places in AFK Arena. It's going to be awesome to see rapid strength building these up, because we know on here, guys, the plus 30 signature item makes a really big difference. And I'm going to leave, because he only has 367 red chests, I'm going to leave it for him to build. Same with all of the engraving mats, but I would 100% recommend, guys, going through here, popping open all of these, seeing who you can build, because we have chests for days in here. And honestly, I would go through and look at some of these and see what you can build out or what you have to actually go through there and build out the rest of the baits to see, what chests in here actually do have baits. I would pick up the baits, finish out baits, beast to 18. Once they're done in these in their entirety, build all those beasts. Again, I would take them all to 18. Just kind of go back and forth, open up some chests, use those baits to build up the beasts, get them to 18. With Beast Resonance 18, guys, when it is done in its entirety. You don't even have to worry about it anymore, but there are going to be a lot of different cards in here, a lot of different stones. And before we go, I want to pop open the stones as the end of it, guys. Elite stones, boom. Can we get anyone good? Which we do. We get the brand new Greyborn hero in there. Also got a copy of Mortis, which is awesome. But yes, a couple more copies in there. Then we also do have the superb elite stones, maybe Awaken. We get nobody of value in there, but still adding a couple more. But of course, in here, I'm going to leave these as well for the honorable elites that we can build. You can also see still building out Hildwyn, still looking at building out Baba Yaga right there. Very cool to see. But guys, thank you guys for joining me for the stream. It is absolutely very cool to see. I love being able to do the streamer summons. So again, guys, that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. A little bit late. I know we're a little bit over, but again, big shout out to Van Gogh allowing us to do the summons on here. It was absolutely epic to see. Absolutely love it. Thank you for Finn, all the insight and all the feedback for the heroes. So again, guys, that's going to do it for today's stream. Thank you guys for joining me. And as always, thank you guys for watching.